The 2024 U.S. presidential election is shaping up to be a close contest. Vice President Kamala Harris is facing off against former President Donald Trump. Recent polls show Harris with a slight lead. However, the race remains tight. It is still too early to definitively call a winner. Both candidates have high unfavorable ratings. This suggests a degree of voter dissatisfaction with both choices. The election will likely hinge on key demographics and battleground states. Turnout will be a crucial factor in determining the outcome. The first presidential debate recently concluded. Polls show Harris winning the debate. This could potentially give her a boost in the coming weeks. However, the impact of the debates on the final result remains to be seen. The 2024 election is poised to be a nail-biter. Kamala Harris has focused her campaign on domestic issues. This resonates with voters concerned about the economy and their daily lives. Harris has pledged to address issues like rising house prices. She has also promised to increase middle-class income and support small businesses. These are all key concerns for many Americans. The cost of living has been steadily increasing. Wages have not kept pace with inflation. This makes it difficult for families to make ends meet. Harris's focus on these issues has helped her to connect with voters who are struggling. Her message of economic security and opportunity appears to be resonating. This is particularly true among certain demographics. These include young people, women, and minority voters. In contrast to Harris's domestic focus, Donald Trump has made China a centerpiece of his campaign. He argues that China is the biggest threat to America's economic and national security. He has promised to take a tough stance against China on trade and foreign policy. While China is a legitimate concern for the United States, Trump's singular focus on it neglects other pressing domestic issues. Many voters are more concerned with issues like healthcare, education, and gun control. Trump's focus on China may not be resonating with voters who are struggling with these everyday concerns. It remains to be seen whether this strategy will be successful in winning over voters in key states. Section 4. American Concerns, the Price of Everyday Life. Americans are deeply concerned about the rising cost of living. The prices of essential goods and services such as housing, healthcare, and education have been steadily increasing for years. This has put a strain on household budgets and made it difficult for many families to make ends meet. Wages have not kept pace with inflation, further exacerbating the problem. Many Americans are working longer hours for less pay, and they are struggling to afford the basic necessities of life. This economic anxiety is a major factor in the 2024 election. Voters are looking for a candidate who they believe can address these issues and provide economic relief. The candidate who can best tap into this anxiety and offer solutions that resonate with voters will be well positioned to win the election. Section 5. Key Demographics and Battleground States, a Divided Nation. The 2024 election will likely be decided by a handful of key demographics and battleground states. Harris is performing well among young people, women, and minority voters. These groups are particularly concerned about issues like climate change, social justice, and healthcare. They are also more likely to be supportive of Harris's progressive policies. Trump, on the other hand, maintains his base of support among older, white, and rural voters. These voters are more likely to be concerned about issues like immigration, trade, and national security. They are also more likely to be receptive to Trump's populist message. The battleground states are those that are not clearly leaning towards either candidate. These states will be crucial in determining the outcome of the election. Both campaigns are focusing their resources on these states, and the race is expected to be very close. Section 6. A look at the data. Why Harris is projected to win. Recent polls and exit polls suggest that Kamala Harris is in a strong position to win the 2024 election. She consistently polls ahead of Donald Trump nationally, and she is leading in many key battleground states. Exit polls from the recent debate also show that Harris won the debate by a significant margin. While the race is still tight, Harris's focus on domestic issues, her appeal to key demographics, and her strong debate performance all point to a likely victory. However, it is important to note that polls can be wrong and the election is still several weeks away. The outcome of the election will depend on a number of factors, including voter turnout, the impact of late-breaking news, and the effectiveness of each campaign's get-out-the-vote efforts.